between you and me, if Derek is not finishing with the clips this week, I will just live it on Friday. Vigorous Steve here. First things first, I'm terribly sorry for that clickbaity title, but unfortunately that seems to be required nowadays, as we can see from yesterday's video, which at time of recording this video is already up to 10,000 views, and I got an extra 100 subscribers out of that one. So for all of you guys who are new to the Vigorous crew, thank you so much for joining. Let's address the title a little bit later in this video because I do want to make a point, but I want to do some housekeeping first. And before we get into the housekeeping, please like the video, leave a comment for the algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's start with the comments first, which were made on yesterday's video where I announced that I was going to retire from hardcore bodybuilding. A lot of the comments were made before people watched the entire video. And that's totally fine. I love that stuff because, again, all comments are algorithm friendly. And, well, we see from the views now that it's got picked up by the algorithm. So, again, my sincere gratitude. But I want to address some of the comments which were made in this video to clarify some of the statements. Again, I'm not stopping bodybuilding. I'm just dialing back my training intensity. I'm still going to train intense, just not as intense as I did previously. So yesterday I had my leg day. I did 7 plates instead of 8 on the hammer strength seated donkey calf press machine, which obviously you should be using for calves, but I MacGyvered that exercise into a leg press. Works very, very well. So instead of doing 8 plates, usually yesterday I did 7 plates. And instead of taking that set to failure approximately 10 to 12 reps, now I did 6. So that's 4 reps in reserve, or maybe even 6 reps in reserve. Still got a decent amount of stimulation out of that, but no brain fog today. I feel fresh as a daisy. I'm not demotivated to record videos or prepare for videos. We're just going to go full steam ahead. And I did the H squat. Normally I would do 8 plates, sometimes even 10 plates on that machine. Now I did 7, right? For a sweet set of 8 reps. Not anywhere close to failure. I still had about 2-3 reps in reserve. Then I did leg extensions with half the stack, which is pathetic because I usually do full stack leg extensions somewhere in the middle towards the end of my leg day. And then I did some unilateral leg presses and a little bit of walking lunges with no weight and called it quits. I didn't bring my phone. I didn't record any of these sets because I don't want the additional stress of having to perform on camera, taking sets to failure, which is what I used to do. I would bring my iPhone 13, record every set. I already made a video about the reasons why I'm doing this, so I'll link that at the end of this video. I would record every set and upload the most gnarly grinding sets that I would get during that workout. So I won't be recording any workouts for the next couple of weeks because I want to set a little bit of a new baseline where I don't use this super aggressive training intensity anymore. Just go to the gym to have fun. But again, I'm still going to the gym. I'm still getting my workouts in. I'm still doing my daily fasted cardio. I'm just stepping away from these grinding sets that are frying my central nervous system. I saw in the BioBros clips that are posted on Derek's and Leo's channel. Again, I will have the full podcast up somewhere during this week when Derek is done uploading his clips. It's 4 hours and 40 minutes long with timestamps made by yours truly. That will be live as soon as Derek is done with the clips. And between you and me, if Derek is not finishing with the clips this week, I will just live it on Friday. Between you and me. So don't worry, guys. You'll get to watch that BioBros episode 10 very, very soon. I saw some of the comments. Actually, there were quite a lot of comments, and I saw it on some of the recent videos also, that I look dead tired. And yes, I haven't been sleeping well. Again, I've been training in the evening. Sometimes I take pre-workout, and even though I prefer Gorilla Mode Nitric, taking Gorilla Mode Nitric without any stims allows me to train harder, which is boosting the adrenaline and frying my central nervous system again with the training style that I've been doing. I'm always in a very sympathetic state afterwards, fight or flight, and it takes a couple hours to get out of that. And even though I take Nebivolol, which is a beta blocker, which helps you come back to the parasympathetic state post-workout, I take the Nebivolol in the morning upon waking, and I'm training around 6 o'clock in the evening. Again, I try to get as much work done during the day as possible. Then I would take a little bit of pre-workout and just go to town in the gym, and then I would stay awake for maybe until 10, 11 in the evening. Now, of course, during this time, I'm editing videos, right? Making sure that it's the highest quality I can produce by myself with help of my wife being my part-time editor. I would make the thumbnail and timestamps, get that online for the upload window for when the most amount of people are online. And then I would stay awake for about an hour, right? Because I would just be so active. Again, part of that is from the workout. Part of that is from working until late. And then I would get maybe 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep in. So I think over the last couple of months that it was kind of catching up to me. And now I realize that I just need to dial the training intensity down so I can go to bed earlier and at least get a higher quality sleep. I might still consider to add in a little bit of growth hormone because my sleep quality is significantly improved while running a low dose of 1.2 units Norditropin or another brand of growth hormone. And the whole reason why I took the growth hormone out is because I wanted to keep my face streamlined when I went back on cycle. And now I've been on cycle for 29 weeks, 30 weeks or so, 6.5 months. I stopped the growth hormone at least a month before. So let's say I've been off the growth hormone for 8 months in duration, maybe even longer. And I will say it hands down myself. My sleep quality has been deteriorating ever since then. Now, I tried to run that experiment with melatonin. I'm going to leave this in, not cut it out. Melatonin. Starting with 3 milligrams per day, ramping up the dosages to 30 milligrams per day. And we all know how that ended up. That's when I really felt like retiring. So luckily, I was able to pinpoint that that was one of the issues why I felt so lethargic. Lowering the training intensity and maybe moving my wife from a part-time job to a full-time job, right? Helping me with editing more so I can keep up with 2 videos per day, a short, maybe one informative video and one video that I don't have to prepare for like this one, just speaking my mind. Hopefully that will really send the algorithm into overdrive. And then once this baby hits 88,000 subscribers, you're going to see some serious shit. So the ultimate goal is to move my wife from a part-time editor, not wife, full-time wife, part-time editor to a full-time editor so you can help me out more, removing a little bit of the burden that I have right now because, again, I'm doing all the proof watching and the overlays and the thumbnails. And I think if she has the opportunity to help me more, then I would be able to have a better sleep. So until then, my sleep is going to be a little bit wishy-washy. I'll give it another month, and then maybe in March or so, I might reintroduce the growth hormone. Over the next couple of months, I'll use ACG monotherapy, restore some of the testicular function that I'm missing out on, even though I'm still using ACG over the last couple of months, right, after I started this cycle. So I'll show you guys what ACG monotherapy looks like when you're ramping up the dosages, let's say 1,000 IUs every other day, and then do another semen analysis at the end. So I have a fair comparison point to 10 years or intermittent use of ACG, then coming off cycle as those semen and fertility parameters were changing. Then on cycle, again, I did a semen analysis a couple weeks back. So that's the height of this cycle. And then a couple months into that ACG monotherapy protocol to see how all of that compares. I know a lot of you guys were waiting for that. I didn't post it because those comments always seem a little bit lusty. But yeah, stay tuned for my semen parameters over the years. I'll put it in a graph so you can see this roller coaster of fertility that I've been on. It should be an interesting topic to discuss. Now, to address the topic, the clickbait title of how we started this video, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately and trying to figure out why there's very little bodybuilding YouTube channels, right? There are bodybuilding YouTube channels where there's a lot of eating over the day, right? A calorie challenge or workout clips or traveling abroad and then training with somebody else, right? Training with Larry Wheels and getting yourself injured in the process. Plenty of videos on YouTube about those subjects. But where are the informative bodybuilding channels that post content multiple times per week? Off the top of my head, the YouTube channel I can highly recommend is the Think Big Bodybuilding Media channel run by Scott McNally. It's basically the last bodybuilding podcast YouTube channel standing. So we used to have Geared Up and the PED discussion over on Project Bodybuilding. many different bodybuilding podcasts. And the last one that I still listen to, and I think it's the last one in existence, is over on the Think Big Bodybuilding Media YouTube channel. Specifically the one called Muscle Minds, where Scott McNally and Dr. Scott Stevenson talk about particular bodybuilding practices. Sometimes it's pharmacology, sometimes it's supplementation, sometimes it's training, right? They discuss everything. I would say that Dr. Scott Stevenson is the most intelligent bodybuilding persona that's on YouTube out of all the bodybuilding personas that we have in the fitness industry, because most bodybuilding personas, they have a membership website where they actively share what they've learned over the years. John Jewett has a J3 University, which is a website I can highly recommend. Myself and John Jewett have very similar ideas of what you should do when you're bodybuilding and how to prevent yourself from getting all sorts of negative health ramifications while you're pursuing your bodybuilding journey. Then you have, of course, the Mountain Dog website, right? RIP John Meadows. It's now being operated by Andrew Berry and some of the staff that used to work for the website. Still very high quality information. Then, of course, Dr. Scott Stevenson has several ebooks in a forum that he operates. You have Dr. Dean St. Mart has a very good website for education called sneducation.com, I believe. I'll link all of their websites down below so you can have some good membership websites for you to consider to continue learning about bodybuilding. Then, of course, you have Jordan Peters, Trained by JP membership websites. And again, guys, I'm not leaving out any specific channels. Well, besides maybe one. Those words are blocked. So if you're into blackmail, don't worry, that channel will never be mentioned on my YouTube channel. So if I leave out a channel that you highly enjoy, please link it down below. I would love to see which other bodybuilders are out there that are frequently uploading and making informative content on YouTube. Of course, we got Derek for More Plates, More Dates. We got Leo from Leo and Longevity, two highly intellectual individuals who've done a lot for the bodybuilding community, but by their own saying, they're not really bodybuilders. Leo was never a bodybuilder. He was a strongman and arm wrestler. And Derek, I think he stepped away from this a long time ago. I mean, he goes to the gym maybe 3 times, 4 times per week. He's running TRT dosages, does a lot of experimentation for the sake of hair loss. But he stepped away from this whole hardcore lifestyle a long time ago. I mean, look at his channel, dude. 1.1 something million subs. And Leo is very close to 100,000 subs. Both of them are not actively pursuing anything like bodybuilding. And that could be a very good indication of why they're so successful. But only Dr. Scott Stevenson is on YouTube. And again, he's doing a podcast every 2 weeks or so. So he has Scott McNally and himself to bounce ideas off and then explain it. And as I noticed for myself, when I go on the BioBros podcast or other podcasts that I did in the past, it's way easier. It's way easier to produce content when you're doing a podcast. In many cases, you don't need so much preparation to do a podcast or even a live stream where the audience, right, the people that are watching the live stream are fueling questions. Chase Irons has a almost daily live stream where he answers questions. So that's another YouTube persona that is a bodybuilder and makes informative content quite frequently, but he doesn't make so many single standing videos where he actively tries to transfer his knowledge to the audience. And it's a lot of live streams. And again, Chase, if I'm a little bit off, I'm sorry. I just had a quick glance at your YouTube channel, and sometimes I tune into your live streams, but I don't see so many informative videos as of late. So again, the amount of bodybuilders that are on YouTube that make informative content, I think I'm the only one, dude. I think I'm the only one. And is that because all of the other bodybuilders that are highly intellectual and want to share their passion and everything that I've learned in their bodybuilding journey are so brain fogged or decently brain fogged that they're only able to make a membership site? Maybe there is something to that. Maybe there's something to say about that. Now, I know Dr. Dean St. Mart is very cognitive. Again, he's running pretty low dosages, TRT or somewhere along the line. Dr. Scott Stevenson, highly intellectual, highly composed, very good at pronunciations and transferring his knowledge. Very commendable. Trains balls to the wall. I'm not sure about his dosages, but going by how you look at, I think he's on a little bit more than TRT. Scott can obviously confirm or deny that all by himself. Trained very, very hard, has decades of experience. So me taking a step back, Dr. Dean St. Mart's doing TRT, right? Training balls to the wall, but doing TRT dosages. So that's less potential for oxidative stress. And then the only one that actually trains hard and makes content infrequently is Dr. Scott Stevenson. Now, again, Jordan Peters makes a lot of content on his membership website, and John Meadows made a lot of videos on his Mountain Dog membership website. But it's all behind a paywall on a membership website. And I've seen a lot of these videos myself when I was a member of those membership websites. And again, great places to learn. But I unsubscribed because I don't want to plagiarize. I want to share my own information, not go to a membership website and then regurgitate somebody else's content here on YouTube. I don't think that's the right way to approach your own YouTube channel. So it's all behind the paywall, all in the comfort of having a small group of people that are going to follow you regardless, not on a public platform where you get scrutinized for the smallest different things. I mean, you should see my comments sometimes. Whew. Yeah, you really need thick skin. And right now my skin is getting thinner because I'm dieting. So sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, but I guess that comes with the territory. So again, not many bodybuilders are actively pursuing a YouTube channel. Is that because of the brain fog? Is it because they prefer the comforts of their own membership websites? Or is it because there's not so many intelligent bodybuilders to go around? Yeah, I don't want to say that, but they seem to be spaced pretty far and few in between. So again, I'm taking a step back so I can produce more content for you guys on a public platform like YouTube. The more videos, the merrier, I would say, right? And with various topics. So there's something for everybody. I understand that not everybody subscribed for the same reason. Some guys like the mindset videos. Some guys like the hardcore bodybuilding videos. Some of you guys are natural, so you only like the over-the-counter supplementation and the funky optimizations that I've come up with over the last couple of years without resorting to pharmaceuticals. Right? I'll try to keep it as varied as possible. I guess I'm going to have to lead the pack in the sense a little bit. Again, I understood a long time ago that I will never be successful making a YouTube channel, which is just going to be day in the lives and training hard and cracking jokes and doing calorie challenges. That's not really my style. I like to educate and inform people and right in the context of harm reduction, but also have a little bit of extremism sprinkled in because, well, that's what bodybuilding is all about. I think this video is long enough. I think you guys catch my drift. So until the next video, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're looking for the most comprehensive guides to bodybuilding pharmacology, you can find the ebooks on my website, vigorsteve.com/shop. Personalized advice always available through consultations. You can find the rates in the consultations section. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at vigorsteve. Have a look at the defunct workout clips channel. Might be a while before I upload there again, but once I found a new groove in the gym, I will be re-recording some sets, albeit less intense. A front double bicep for the Vigorous crew. Oh, before I forget, somebody asked what these little clips were here on the sides. I trim my body hair once a week, and again, my skin is a little bit dry and getting thinner, running a reasonably high dose of vitamin B5 to mitigate some acne, which was coming back. So, yeah, that trimmer is a little bit aggressive in the armpit. So I made a little nick here and a little bit of a nick there. Don't worry, I didn't tear my pec. Don't overanalyze everything you see in this YouTube video. Yeah, it's all for fun and giggles and educational purposes. And take from this what you will. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.